Yeah, hello and welcome back to ConWorxx III, Spielworxx, small, friendly, cozy gaming convention. My name is Uli Blennemann and I'm now having outstanding game designer Stefan Risthaus as my guest. So welcome Stefan, how are you?
Thank you. I'm fine, and thank you for being here, for the
Yeah,
invitation.
it is my pleasure. And hello Daniel, good seeing you. Daniel is saying he's from the US. Today you benefit from my insomnia. I should not laugh about this or smile about this. So this is not really a good thing. But you see, even insomnia can have some benefits. Yeah, you are able to see Stefan. So live, and there's Hevi, there's Andre. Good seeing you, and Hans is back. Good seeing you as well. And of course, you know this routine. If you have questions, comments, please put them in the chat window, and Stefan surely will respond. For the very few people who do not know who Stefan is, Stefan, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and also maybe in gaming, which games you already designed?
Okay, yes, I'm living in Germany, in northern part of Germany, in Wolfsburg, home of VW, and but I'm not working there, but as an attorney, and I live with Heike, my wife, and two children. And if there is some time, I try to design some games. And there's Arkwright and Gentes, of course, and some smaller games like Riga and Ostia initially. So, and one that I'm really proud of is Mountain Goats, previously Level X, that will be re-released soon in German.
So interesting, yeah. Looking forward to this game as well. And really, Stefan is one of the three people at Wolfsburg who are not working at Volkswagen. So I think really it is the city of that manufacturer. And of course not only Gentes but Arkwright, so which is a wonderful game, and got a card game as well, card game version recently by Game Brewer. So you should also check out this game. But today, now we will not talk about Arkwright or Arkwright card game, but about Gentes EPOS. So what is basic question? What is Gentes EPOS, Stefan?
Yes, it's a new standalone game that is based on the Gentes game mechanism, and I try to share the screen for some pictures.
Yeah, wonderful.
And
now we see a lion. I'm not sure if this was.
See my. Do you see now my?
We see a nice. It's a wonderful, nice picture, but it's a lion.
Okay, no, then it seems not to work as supposed to. I try to
if you
share my screen with a picture of Gentes, but it obviously does not work as it should.
Yeah, so, but I have lots of Gentes illustrations as well, so
okay.
Maybe, but you should go back from there, because otherwise we still see the lion.
Yeah, maybe it's better than me.
No, it isn't. Never ever. Okay. Never ever. It's a pretty lion, people are saying.
Okay, so I will stop sharing my screen.
Yeah, and but I can show some pictures. But one question, going back for a second, Daniel was very curious about the Arkwright card game. It is because Daniel is attending Essen, coming over from the US. The game is available. Where can people buy the game?
The German version will be at our booth in Ostia Spiele at your booth. Thank you for having us as your guests. And the other versions, I think, will be at Game Brewer's booth. I'm not sure if they have English copies available, because it was a Neil Griffin release in the US, but I think it will be available there.
Yeah, so international guests, check out Game Brewer. And if you are interested in the German version, check out the Spielworxx booth at 6H102. You are able to purchase the game over there. But getting back to Gentes, so finally.
Yes, okay. What is the EPOS game? It is based on the Gentes mechanism. In a nutshell, it is playing cards with an action selection system. You have a track with spots that you can fill in around. You take an action tile, put it in one of the spaces of your time track, and you have to pay money according to the action you have chosen, and take additional send timer tiles, and you will fill up your time track that way. And the actions are getting new cards, playing cards, and fulfilling prerequisites for the cards. That is buying new population or educate population, and building up cities in Gentes. And now we have changed this mechanism of building cities to placing settlers on the board. We have changed the map that is now divided into areas, and you have to place settlers first. And if you have enough settlers, namely 6, you can build the city. So it is cheaper to take the action, but it takes longer to create a city in the end.
Yeah.
This is the core change from Gentes to EPOS, the base game. And the really interesting part of EPOS is that it is one standalone basic game, but it comes with 8 additional scenarios that each have a separate rule set that sets the focus of the scenario to a specific aspect of the game. For example, the easiest one is just some bonuses for spreading out your settlers and cities over the map and get majorities in the regions. Or the other one is spreading out a new element of building roads and make connections from one corner of the map to the other, and support cities by roads. And the third one is trading goods that you get from the cities instead of money. So you have first to collect goods and then can get money, but you do not get money directly. You get another scenario where you have to educate people in a specific way because you need them to fight against unpleasant events. If you do not do that, then you will suffer from disadvantages, like you cannot take specific actions. And then you have a scenario where you have pawns on your educational board, and you cannot use these spaces unless you have unlocked them by specific actions. So this is a scenario that focuses on education. And you have a scenario where you can build up a tech tree, where you need specific cards to start the development of the next level of abilities. And we have a very interesting scenario that is some kind of the crown of the whole development, is called a New Age. And there you have almost a complete new civilization build-up game, a development game, where you have specific individual asymmetric player abilities and a nice twist that you need to create not only victory points, but a second type of resource called culture points. And whatever is lower, culture points or victory points, is your score in the final scoring phase.
Yeah, very interesting. Gentes, so to the first edition Gentes, Daniel is saying is one of the very few games that he played twice in one day. Fantastic games. Thank you, Daniel. What I like a lot about Gentes, and which is also true for Gentes EPOS, is that you have lots of options when it's your turn, your player turn, but it's that there hardly is a lot of downtime, because you have lots of options, but you're doing a single thing. So you get more people, or you build something, you get a card, you play a card, and this is quickly done. So decision making is really, really difficult, but you don't have to wait normally for 20 minutes till it's again your turn. And the complexity of Gentes is, for a game of that depth, is fairly low. So I really enjoy this a lot. And hello, Matze again. And Hans is having a question which I'm not answering directly, because I would like to ask Stefan first. So we now see that there are several scenarios in Gentes EPOS, several chapters maybe, if we put it in this way. Is Gentes a legacy type game? So if we play as a group, do we glue something on the board? Do we rip cards, throw them away? And after we've played the game, we can't hand it to another group so that they can enjoy Gentes EPOS again. Is it a legacy type game?
No, not a legacy type game. It's we call it a campaign game. You can play the scenarios as a standalone event and experience, but we will have the chance to play it as a campaign, starting with the base game or a specific scenario and going to the next and third and fourth scenario. But the scenarios will be independent from each other. It will not struck the rules from the first play to the second, and additional 1 and 2 will be combined, and 3 will be on top, etc. But you will have one scenario with a complete independent rule set, and then the next scenario. And we will have the option for the campaign to have a full campaign over all 8 scenarios, or if you try to have a not so long experience, you can choose to have a campaign for 4 games, a lighter one with 4 specific scenarios, and the other 4 for more experienced gamers, so you can have a short experience but also a campaign. You will have the chance to move on to the next level with specific cards that you have saved, because you have specific abilities. So there will be a meta game to have a campaign winner at the end, and you have specific side goals that you can fulfill during the game. For example, having 60 coins at a moment, or build 6 cities in the inner circle of the board, or whatever, and then you get additional resources for the next game at the start. On the other hand, there is a small card deck that guides you through the campaign and says, okay, if all of you will have 6 cities at the end of the game, you all get a small bonus. If you do not achieve this, you will get a small malus for the next game. And you will always play the 4 or 8 games, 1 each, but the order of the games will be different depending on whether you get the common goal achieved or not.
And very interesting, two follow-up questions here, Stefan. So let's say I've purchased now Gentes EPOS, so I'm new to the game. I open up the package, I flip through the rule sets, and I'd say, wow, chapter 5, scenario 5, this looks interesting. Can I start right away with this one and disregard the first 4? Is this possible?
Yes, there will be a small overview what the specific scenarios may bring you, what will be the specific topic of this scenario. So if you say, well, I don't like to play with building cities like my wife does, you can switch the ones of the scenarios that set the focus on building cities. And the order of the chapters, as I said, are not fixed, so you can play independently even during a campaign. If I start a campaign and play with my Wednesday group and have played first or even 2 games, scenarios, chapters, whatever we will call it, I can on Sunday play with another group a scenario of another type. So you will not destroy any cards, you will not glue something on the board. The changes will become from the scenarios from one to the other.
Yeah, very interesting.
From the campaign.
And this would have been my second question, so which I think, and you already answered it, what is pretty important is that you can play the game with several different groups and have other people come by and be introduced to the game, although some others have already played some chapter scenarios. So the game is really very flexible. And in my opinion, if you like the basic Gentes engine, which is intact here, you will love this game because it complexity is increased, isn't it? It's a little bit higher, right? Yeah.
Only a little bit because of the placing of settlers instead of building cities right away, but it's not that much added to the basic game. The complexity comes with the scenarios.
Yeah, I agree 100%, and it's not a terribly complex game. The complexity is actually in playing this well. And of course we know that testing, balancing gamers game, so I'd say Gentes EPOS is a Kennerspiele level. It's not necessarily an expert level game. Kennerspiel I think is okay. Is very difficult. It's not easy to do these things. Even when 95% of the design are in place, last 5% are difficult to achieve. But now we are having 8 chapters, 8 scenarios. So this is really difficult to do. And Stefan is not only designing the game at this moment, finished design stuff, but he's also coordinating all the testing. How are you doing this, Stefan?
Good question. I don't know. I'm trying to do my best and do what's next and try to organize all these things. Yes, it's working because of the internet and the Vassal module, thanks to Jason Dinger at this point. So I have the chance to test from my desk in the evening and have not to travel around, and can test with people from Hagen and Oslo and wherever all these guys are sitting that help me to playtest. Thanks to all of them, Jörg including, and Carsten.
Yeah, and I think and it's a huge thank you first to you, Stefan, that you're coordinating all this stuff, which is a lot of work, but also to all the testers, to all the online testers who helped that Gentes EPOS is coming together so well. So this is really wonderful to see, and a lot of work. So personally, what is your favorite mechanic in Gentes, and what is your favorite chapter, Stefan? What do you like most?
Yes, indeed, I like the most the New Age scenario with all the civilization expanding and developing. But of course, it's the most difficult to balance because we have asymmetric starting conditions for each player, and we are right now handling 4, let's say 5, and of the population of the civilizations. And possibly there will be 6 or even 9 to cover all of the civilization cards that are in the base game and assigned to each player at the beginning, depending on which civilization he chooses. So it's the most complex and the most difficult to develop and to balance, but it's my favorite if it comes to what I like. Yes, and for easy and playing, I like the mission where you get additional cards. You can set your own goal for this actual coming round. You have 12 cards, and Gentes and EPOS are played in 6 rounds. So you have 12 cards, and at the beginning of each round, you have to choose one of these cards and discard one. It's totally out of the game. So you have 6 goals that you set at the beginning of a round to get rewards at the end of the same round. So it's setting your own goals for your future turn is interesting because you always think in round 3 or 4, why did I discard in round 1 this card that I need now?
Yeah. But these are difficult but interesting decisions you are making in your turn. So there, you want to do so much and cannot really do everything, and especially not at the same time. This is also, I think, a sign of a good game. So, and in Gentes you have very much this dilemma. And and Hans is saying, I have to admit to play Gentes more because it is some time. ago. Yeah, you have to. You should. But maybe you're waiting for Gentes EPOS anyway.
Join our test groups.
Or join the test group, Hans. So you can be involved if you are looking forward to this. Drop me a mail at uli@spielworxx.de and I will put you in touch with Stefan. So if you would like to do so, we would really like to welcome you here. So the timeline for Gentes EPOS is, because the testers and Stefan did so really great work here, we are looking to crowdfund the game in 12 months, 13 months from here, so late 23. That is our goal. We will move the game to development at the end of this year, and then at a certain point graphics will come into place, and this is our goal here. And I'm really excited for this, and I'm really looking forward to see this on the table, because the virtual table is something, but the real gaming table and people all around you is something different. And Hans said yes, he is interested. He sent me a message, so I will put you in touch. And thank you, Hans, for this. Thank you very much. And if you would like to meet Heike and Stefan at Essen, please stop by at the Spielworxx booth at 6H102. Let me put this in here again, 6H102, because Ostia Spiele will have their own table. You can play one card wonder. I think that's on the table. Stefan, that's a new release in German. The German title is Ein Kartenwunder. I like it very much, that title. And you can purchase the whole Ostia Spiele lineup, the whole lineup that is available at this moment. Did I miss anything here, Stefan?
No, it's correct. We will have a preview copy of Mountain Goats, but the main game is One Card Wonder. Yes, that's the title is of course saying what you do. You have one card with a wonder and you have to build it, and whoever completes the wonder first is the winner of the game. That's it.
Which is very good, and I've played the game. I like the components very much. Gameplay is very nice, so check out this wonderful package at 6H102. So and check the game out. It's really wonderful, and it is one of the rare times where I like the German title Ein Kartenwunder more than the English title, because it has a nice rhythm in my opinion, at least. And Andre is here, he's saying, join the playtesting party, Hans. So yeah, well, exactly. And Daniel he would like to put in a pre-order for Gentes EPOS now. Thank you very much, Daniel. Thank you all for viewing this, and thank you, Stefan, here for taking your time. We'll meet in a couple of days at Essen anyway on Wednesday, and I'm now closing the stream, not pausing it. So you have to reconnect in 21 minutes at 1:45, and Aaron Haag will be my guest, and we will talk about the second edition of Yunnan, so a new Spielworxx title. And I would love to see you all back. Have a great day, have a great time. Thank you very much.